Hello everyone, it's DA here, and today we are going to be talking about the latest or the recent BioWare blackouts. And this is something that is much a big concern for a lot of people in the Anthem community, and I'm sure a lot of you might be quite curious about this. Now, this is a video for those of you who bought the game and are waiting for things to get better, and those who still care about the game. Now, if you did not buy Anthem, then this video is not for you, so please don't take it personal. So BioWare have been really silent lately, and they had this almost 100% media blackout. And with the recent post about the next Dragon Age game, a lot of people are now speculating that they had gone silent because they have abandoned Anthem and so on and so forth, and they're moving on to another project. It's also easy to see a lot of ignorance across YouTube and different platforms. And of course, a lot of people these days seem to think that disagreeing with something, or saying that they hated something, or saying that something is gay makes them smart. I don't know where they got that from, but that is what we're dealing with in this generation. Now, I will put up some of my resume, and hopefully it will help in understanding how and why they have gone dark for most of it. And I will also go on and use my own job experience to explain the way things work. Now, I have an associate's degree in chemistry, bachelor's in biology, working on a master's in healthcare administration, and I am a self-taught graphic designer and editor. With those skills, I have been able to work with Viacom, AT&T, Verizon, Sudlink, and some affiliates of Fox and NBC. And of course, I currently work for a media consultant and production company, which I cannot name for specific reasons. I will be using my job experiences in corporate America to address some of these concerns. The situation with BioWare is not something that just starts at BioWare level. In reference to the article by Jason Schreier and how people were mistreated in BioWare, I see so much ignorance on the web from a lot of people who never seem to understand what a chain of command is. And that is something that exists everywhere you go. If you are a bottom employee at your job, you don't just get access to the top or to the CEO. You have to go through different levels of individuals who outrank you, and in some cases you might never be able to get to that top person. And this is where all the stress comes from. I doubt that anyone really wanted to treat their colleagues like trash. Now, that is just my belief. I doubt that anyone was just born that way. But when the shareholders for EA puts pressure on EA and its board members, the board members will put pressure on the financial analyst. Then the analyst will look at where to cut costs and maximize productions. That data gets passed out to HR and other auxiliaries, and then people will get fired, and every studio will now get their share of timelines and things to do. EA will now tell BioWare lead that, hey, I'm giving you this set amount of time and amount of money to get this done. BioWare lead now has to pass on that information and deal with resources available, and that could include people in-house or at other locations. When the person on top gets squeezed by the person above them, they will squeeze the person below them, who will then squeeze the person under them. Some people will call it the chain of screaming. It's a whole chain system. The way you carry out those things means that someone could get fired, or someone could get really frustrated that they will quit their jobs. And a lot of people seem to take these things personal. Whenever your boss is screaming at you, 9 times out of 10, they're screaming at you because their boss is screaming at them and chewing them up every single time. Now, I know people will say that, well, what about Apex Legends? EA had nothing to do with it, and Respawn had, good treatment of its employees and all that kind of stuff. Okay, let me help you out right here on how company expenditures work. No money can be allocated to any department or any place or any location without a proper description of what the money is being used for. Once again, money cannot be allocated to any particular department or any place without a proper description of what the money is being used for. So all this claim that EA didn't know about Apex Legends being created, EA didn't know that they were making a battle royale, all that claim is bullshit. It's all a lie, because trust me, financial analysts will not just drop money or send money over to a particular studio without knowing what you're using the money for. Let's be realistic, people. Come on, let's think about these things. It's like dumping money into a project and not knowing what it's being used for. My belief is that the moment Respawn told EA that we are making a battle royale, EA didn't get involved because they had so much faith in that genre. Fortnite made $3 billion in 2018 from being a free-to-play game. So EA analysts already knew that regardless of what it is, even if the game was trash or not, a battle royale game under EA will make them tons of money. In fact, if you tell the shareholders that you're making a battle royale game, they will be really happy. So they followed the whole free-to-play model with the illusion of fair monetization because they know that it will work. EA knew about Apex Legends because if they didn't know, how would they detail it in their yearly or quarterly financial reports? This is something that had existed under EA's financial and quarterly reports every single year since Apex Legends started its development. So they had it under a different code name, but it exists and EA knew what exactly it was, because guess what? EA had to be the one to make sure that all the patent papers are ready. They had to make sure that all the copyright papers are correct before they send it to the copyright office. They have to make sure that all those things, including every detailed information, is there. So there is no way that the leads at EA will be able to publish a game without actually filing in several documentations and legal documentations about what the game is. So all this, they didn't know about it. It's bullshit. Now, the situation with Anthem is one that is much bigger. If BioWare had said to EA that, hey, we are making a Mass Effect Battle Royale, trust me, EA would have let go and let BioWare do their thing. But a live service shooter is a little bit different. Of course, it's also a new IP, unlike Apex Legends, where most of the resources is something that came over from Titanfall 2. And whenever someone leaves a studio, they also take their severance packages with them. Now, financial analysts have to look at how much they have allocated and how much time is left before the money runs out. This is where the pressure from the top also comes in again. And I know this because I work in a corporate field. This happens all the time. It is crazy. It is demonic, but it happens. Now, the situation with BioWare going dark is something that is a much needed one if you ask my opinion. There's no way to address these things other than to focus less on social media and more on the projects at hand. Yes, BioWare might have told people not to speak to the press, and every job you have ever been to does that. Only people who have never had a real job will take this differently. Even if you work at Walmart or Dollar General and an accident happened at your work, if a news crew shows up, your manager will tell you not to speak to anyone. We will release an official PR statement. The boss will come and speak to the news crew. This is how they do this. So people cannot get mad if BioWare went silent. And it doesn't mean that they're abandoning the game either. They already have a roadmap set, which, the statement of abandoning Anthem is just stupid to begin with. Also, BioWare is more than one small space. They can develop multiple games at the same time. A lot of studios do that from time to time. Now, I'm not saying that Anthem is in a great state, or Anthem is the best game out there, or it doesn't have its own share of issues, or BioWare is not also part of the problem. I'm not saying that that is not the case, but it's only been out for 2 months, and the game has been grilled more than any game I've ever seen. I will advise everyone to start analyzing these things and start thinking about it. Sometimes talking to the press will do more harm than intended. And in this case, BioWare's open door policy kind of backfired. And that is why they've been a little bit dark, so that the time that they speak to you, they will actually have something of a bigger interest at hand. So I hope this video kind of helps in clarifying a lot of things and also explain some of the things that you guys might not have an idea about. So anyways, thanks for watching. It's DS signing out. I'll see you in the next one.